literally mean one day, I mean 1,000 years. That's going to happen, but when it's all said and done, we're going to give the nations exactly what they deserve.
That's right.
Their just portion. We're not going to rob the people. Now, I ain't going to lie, now that may be the case. Because what the nations are going to do, the nations are going to build us up. They're going to keep building us up for 1,000 years straight. And once the Lord has given us enough through these nations, then we'll give them what they deserve in their portion.
They're still going to be under us though, following our laws, commandments. They're still basically going to be. It's like in the Roman Empire, you had like provinces within the Roman Empire. You had other nations that were given their space to rule, but they were still under the influence of Roman empire power. So they will be freed from slavery, but they're still going to be up under the power and influence of Hebrewism, you could say.
Oh yeah,
the laws and commandments.
And it's like it's like even like now, man. You got what is it? You got the Rothschilds. Who do they control all over the world? They control these politicians. So you're gonna have a brother, all right, that's within the governance. They're gonna have control of who becomes president of their people. So they're still gonna be under our governance, under our jurisdiction. They're not gonna go away from that. But like I said, we're gonna give them their portion, and they're gonna live happily ever after. Go on, bro.
This is Isaiah 60:10, and it says, "The sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee."
Yeah, that's in the same way. He might as well read it, brother.
Yeah, it's in the chapter. Isaiah 60.
But that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
I'll continue from verse 5, and it says, "Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee."
So the abundance of the sea is not literally talking about the sea. It's talking about the people, because you're going to start seeing millions and millions of people coming together, or by the billions. They're going to come together, and they're going to give praises to the Most High by giving us their portion, whether it's gold, or whether it's gemstones, or whether it's women, or whatever it is, or the box tree together, as it says. Go ahead, bro.
Of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries,
which are another set of camels, going
of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come.
That's all of them Arabic nations as well. Going.
They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall shew forth the praises of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee.
And you know what flocks are? That can include sheep, that can include goats. And that's how Abraham became rich. He became rich by the multitude of flocks and camels and stuff like that. You can read the story on that. So he became rich because that's real substance. Not this paper fiat fund currency that we're using every other day. All this credit system, which the term credit means belief. So even what you have in your account it ain't backed by anything. Now it's backed by something. It's backed by your belief. Hence you get the term credit. From the word incredible, going.
They shall come.
Oh no, credible. It's not incredible, going.
They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them.
So not only are we going to get flocks, but we're also going to get gold as well, and also them gemstones. Go on, brother.
Unto the name of the Lord thy power, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified.
And if you notice too, it says in the name of thy power, because the name of the Lord is going to be casted upon his people. You see, so when the nations give reverence to us, when they give us their goods and their portions, what is that? That's giving reverence to the Most High in his name. Because the Lord cast his name on our people. Go on.
Verse 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee.
Yeah.
For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought.
Yeah. That their kings may be brought. Go on.
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Yeah.
The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary.
So even the kings of the nations, they're gonna have to accept who's in power, and they're gonna have to convert to the glory. They're gonna have to convert to the truth that we're bringing out, and they're gonna have to abide by our rule. So all of these kings and these prime ministers, and if they remain alive, they're gonna be our servants, our slaves. That's another thing too that's gonna make us rich, is having servants. A true king has servants. Ain't nothing wrong with having a servant. Don't let them tell you anything differently, man. Hell, guess what? We're slaves in this society.
Mm-hmm.
When you get up in the morning, every morning, what are you doing? You working for someone, right?
Yeah.
So what's wrong if they work for us one day in the kingdom? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now they're blinded the minds of the people that believe that they have their own level of power, which you get the term democracy. But don't know when you really understand the way the system works, it's no democracy.
Yeah.
Because the word democracy means the rule of the people. The word demo, which means the people, and proceed, which means to rule. So we don't see people ruling anything. We see people following the trends that the media is giving them, and the media is connected with government, or is government, because the word government means mind control. So they would be very well responsible for manipulating the media as they're doing. And the word media, somebody break the word media down. I forgot what it was called.
Goes into mediums, which ties into witchcraft.
Right. Exactly. So when you get your remote control and you changing your channel, that's what that goes back to. That goes back to what is it, Hollywood?
Hollywood. Yeah, that's
Hollywood. That's where you get the term Hollywood from. So you get to click and choose whatever channel or whatever program you want to watch.
Right.
So everything that Esau has done is all based on left-hand side business. That's all it is going, bro.
Hence why they call it a broadcast as well.
Right,
It's a
broadcast.
Broad and cast, it means a broad spell.
Right.
A broad spell on the people.
Yeah.
Casting spells.
Casting spells.
Casting spells.
Yeah.
And that's why if you notice the style and fashion for people to follow by is pretty much dealing with what is it? I'll use the term degeneracy. So if you're a female in this Western Hemisphere and you're watching whatever they're pushing out there, you're supposed to get hip to that, because the hip thing now is to be a part of the culture of being a harlot.
Yeah.
Or if you're a man or a young man, you're supposed to walk around wearing skin-tight jeans and putting all kind of colors in your hair,
Yeah.
looking like a goddamn clown. That's really the style now. That's
Yeah.
the fashion.
Can I just say something?
Go on.
With the woman now, it's hate. It's being a man. It's what they're doing now. They're mobilising really to hate men, put
Yeah.
more hatred on men. That Me Too movement spirit
Yeah,
now.
they call it toxic
Feminism. Yeah, toxic
masculinity.
masculinity.
But
yeah.
there's a reason for that. There's a reason why Esau pushes that out there. And you gotta understand, most people are not so bright. Most people don't use their brains. Most people don't even know the purpose of why that is. The reason why the acting the Esau has programmed it to do that is to simply keep everything under his control.
Right.
So if you have women going against men and men going against women, how can you produce family? Oh, and by the way, that goes back to depopulation again. Because if you have women going against men and men going against women, that's depopulation. And then at the same time, in the midst of all of that, they're pushing transgenderism at the same time. And you know what, too? I put a video up on my account, right? And I told certain brothers, and they gave me a strike on my damn channel. I can't even use the thing for a week.
Just say that again, brother, because I missed that.
No, I was doing a sit down like that. I was talking about that,
Yeah.
and they strike my sit down channel.
See?
I can't even go into it for a week. So now I had to create this other channel called GMS Feed the Flock, and you know, I gotta be on it. I gotta be easy now with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but that's just the thing, because I was doing a sit down about it, and they shut my shit down.
But you see, what they're not really giving you a solution. Okay, masculinity is toxic. So how else is a man supposed to conduct himself?
Yeah, but it's bigger than that, brother. The point being is Esau is pushing depopulation. That's
I know,
all it is.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, Is this all confusion? You know what I'm saying? It's
But that's
all
what
death.
Esau wants.
It's all death.
Because Esau got to rule in confusion, baby. He can't rule any other way. Go on, brother.
This is Isaiah 29:16. So it says, "Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's clay."
That's it. That's how he's ruling it. That's how he got to play the game. There's no fair game with Esau. You can't play fair with this man. He's gonna cheat so he can't cheat anymore, so he can maintain his agenda at large. And then they got the Georgia Guidestones to say, look, we want to maintain humanity under 500 million. And that's exactly what I went to on my sit-down show. And they cut the shit down because I was getting right to the point as to why they're doing all of this nonsense. You see? So like I said, you got all of this genderism, pansexualism going on. And then they pushing this women's lip thing. It's for a reason, man. And like I said, most people just go with the wind. Whatever wind that's being pushed out there, they going with it. Because these people ain't really, most people ain't bright, man. We were taught that most people got some kind of sense, but they don't. They're not bright.
You even got certain men that they're refusing to get married, man, because they see that there's no profit in why a man should get married. Because when you get married, once that woman files for a divorce,
Finished, man.
her life is finished, man.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And it's purposeful that they do that.
You got so it's
You're going. Don't finish what you're saying, brother.
you got something called men's rights. It's a men's rights movement, man. Because men are now fighting for their rights, man. You know, that's how bad it's got. Men are now fighting for their rights, man.
Take what, brother. Get Genesis chapter 2.
It's gotten that bad that women have more rights than men.
Yeah.
To get what I mean. A woman could tell one lie on you.
Yeah.
Your whole life is done, you know.
Yeah, Shalakia, believe all women. That Me Too movement now, the slogan is believe all women. So a woman could just say, he groped me, no evidence, nobody saw nothing, he groped me, you're going to get arrested.
Yeah,
you know, attempted rape, Yeah,
but that's just the thing. And it just goes back to what I said earlier before. You got certain brothers, man, that know this, man. And this truth shows you how Esau operates, man. That's why the scripture says, we are not ignorant of his devices. We know what he's doing. We know what the ball game is, man. We done studied them. We know what he's all about. You know? Go on, bro. Matter of fact, let him read this because I called him.
Genesis 1:27. So the Most High created man in his own image, and in the image of the Most High created he him.
Yeah.
Male and female created he them.
Yeah. So the Lord created two kinds of beings. He created the female and he also created the male. And there's a reason why these two were created, so that they can bring forth life. You can't bring forth life when you got two dudes doing whatever despicable thing that they're doing in closed doors, or two women for that matter. How can you breathe life out of that? But like I said, Esau is all about death and confusion, and just jacking people up, so that he can get paid off people's pain. And that's another thing too. Like these medical companies, man, they make a killing. They make billions and billions of dollars or pounds over the sickness of people. So in order to keep the bank rolling, let's promote nonsense and negativity so that people can falter towards something that's going to make them sick in the process. And meanwhile, we can then make a killing off that shit. That's what it's all about. We know the ball game, man. Okay, we know the ball game. Like, you got certain brothers that know what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, go on, bro. You can't pull the wool over our eyes. Now, these people, these average John and James that want to stay ignorant because it feels good just not to know, that's fine. But at the end of the day, even if we know all of this information, the end result is going to be destruction. Okay? Because you can't keep a society going that's based on confusion and destruction. It's not going to work. It's going to lead to one result, and that one result is going to lead to destruction. That's all it's going to lead up to. Yeah, so finish that. Babako Shah.
And the Most High blessed them. And the Most High said unto them, be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah, so the Lord commanded man to be fruitful, multiply. What is Esau promoting? Depopulation. So if the law says one thing, they doing another thing.
Not to be fruitful, not to multiply.
But to depopulate. Go and read that.
Just want to bring out a little article I've done a video on earlier today. I was reading this. It's about this guy on TV called Philip Schofield. I was talking to the brother Ahab about it. He's basically come out saying he's gay now. Now, I used to be a child back in the 80s, so I remember him from when he used to do children's TV with the flipping Gordon the Gopher.
Go on.
But the headline of the newspaper, I'll just show it here. It says, "Go for it, Phil."
Oh yeah.
And they're saying like he's come out as gay, and they're all applauding it. And that shows you the society we live in, because nobody's uplifting the Bible. Nobody's saying, but what about Leviticus 20 and 13?
But why would they do that, brother? They're not. Come on, like these guys ain't stupid. Why would they promote the Bible when the Bible produces life? Their thing is just to promote death so that they can sustain their position, not to sustain the world or sustain society, but to sustain their rulership. So let's get everybody all messed up. Let's promote all of this nastiness, and so that people can become sick at the end of the day, because you can get sick living like that. And what you're doing, you're killing, what is it? You're killing two birds with one stone, because, okay, you take a group of people that get involved in that act, a disease is going to come in the midst of that. And then at the same time, you pretty much slowing down the depopulation. You're slowing down the population, excuse me. So read that, bro. So like, I just wanted to make that point.
No,
man.
that's the right point, because basically the reason why they're pushing it and uplifting it as if it's a good thing is because they want to bug the people out, so that people get on board with this and they think, oh yeah, it's good to be gay. It
ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, this guy had a wife of 27 years and children, but yet they're still saying, oh, he's such a hero for coming out and saying he's gay.
He bravely comes out with it. Bravely.
In an interview, he actually said he spoke to his ex-wife and children, and they're still a family. They're having a family unit, but he's gay now.
More confusion. Can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
Because the reason why this is able to happen, right, is because Esau, right, has spent a lot of time convincing everybody that the Most High doesn't exist. That's why he comes out with his Big Bang and his evolution and all that other bullshit, right? So now people don't even believe in the Most High. So, you know, they're not thinking of the consequences, man. They can't even see that. You know, if everyone's running around being all this LGBT nonsense,
and that's a very good point.
The place is dying in front of their eyes, and they can't even see it.
Yeah. There's gonna be a backlash, man.
It's all death. It's all. What happens when you have a society that's full of that sort of behaviour? Is what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a load of old people, and you're not gonna get enough young people to carry on the nation.
No one's gonna be born. Who's gonna be in the nurseries? Who's gonna?
And that's the trick right there.
You know.
And another thing too, Salakia, brother, so like I gotta say this, because what keeps a society going is young people, man. You can't have a whole heap of oldies running the system when they getting ready to perish. So like I said, this world here, it's not gonna last too long, man. We're pretty much at the end of this world. It's dying out, it's dying fast.
That's right.
People are depressed like never before. But like I said, Esau ain't dealing with sustainability. Esau is dealing with them. They're dealing with themselves. Their thing is like, fuck all of y'all, right? Even if you guys are poor, we don't give a shit. Even they're wrong, right? As long as we on the top and we comfortable, that's all that really matters.
Right.
Go on, bro.
This is Isaiah 5:20. So it says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Yeah, because the Elon Rothschild and the likes, all of these characters, that's in rulership. You think they practice what these people do? They ain't practicing no shit like that. They got the people doing that because they gotta maintain humanity on the 500 million. They gotta watch out for the population. That's why they pushing that nonsense, man. So that they can then. So let's say you have a small, reasonable amount of people. Okay. Lesser than what it is right now. Who's going to benefit above and beyond? They are. They're going to get all of the. They're going to get all of the fruit and the resources of the earth. That's the plan. And really, what it boils down to, they want to live. They want to set up their own kingdom of heaven.
Right.
So if they can get all of these useless eaters out of the way, that's their way of setting up their own kingdom. But the Lord, the Most High, already set up the kingdom right here. This is their kingdom now. But they just want more and more and more and more and more. That's the spirit of Esau. Like it says in the scriptures, if a thief came to thee, right?
Would he not leave some grapes?
Right, would he not leave some grapes? That's the spirit of Esau. He's just about taking everything. Yeah. You could like, for example, you could have like a what is it? A grain of sand, right? A couple of grains of sand. And then Esau go and take that grain of sand to add onto his beach. That's how he roll. You see? And the reason, it goes back to my original point, the reason why they're ruling like this, because they're simply weak. So, like we was going into, people that are weak, they have to cheat. They have to do anything it takes to simply maintain their position. Because at the end of the day, at the same, they have no creator behind them. So they had to do all of this anyway. It had to been done.
And I was going to say that, obviously, how you know all of this is designed for death and confusion at the end and depopulation is you go to school, the young little kids, they're not being taught their roles, gender roles, man. Like the roles that women, like little girls are meant to be doing as when they grow to women. The roles that little boys are supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying, how a man's meant to provide, you know, the system's meant to provide little young boys with a house, man, so they can start their families and shit. It pretty much caters to the women, but anyway, the point is that they're just educated in maths, English, science, pretty much certain courses that help to run the system. So when they emerge, when they graduate from these schools, they go into work. They go to work, man, as slaves. You know, it's not really designed about teaching the young boys how to be men, the young girls how to be women. Just wanted to read this.
And it's not teaching them how to be self-sufficient. And that's why they set up the school systems. That's why they take it behind the school for 17 years in some countries, 16 years in certain countries, 18 years in America. The reason why they have your ass in there for days and on end is so that they can condition your mind to be servants, man, to be slaves.
Right.
So you're not in there in terms of thinking the right way, and that's why you have two kind of schools. You have the private schools, and then you also have upper level schools too. You have universities. You have all of these different schools, and all of these different schools are responsible for doing something to your mind. So let's say you're coming from a political background or a government background. You have children. Your children are going to go to that particular school so that they can get hip on how to govern the world. Now, if you're just an average Joe and Blow, you're going to go to what? The public school. Yeah, if you're rich, that's why there's different classes. You got to deal with the classes of the world.
Right.
And even if you're rich, you can send your child to private school. Now, the private schools, the public schools, they all get taught something different. Now, if you go to a public school system, what are you going to get? You're going to get all kind of chaos in that school.
Right.
People talking, disrespecting the teacher, doing all kind of nonsense because the kids are bored, and all of this other stuff. And meanwhile, the private school students, they get taught in a different way, more of a beneficial way. And then you have those that are in the political world, they getting taught the real shit, how to really operate the earth. So, but let's just deal with the public schools because that's the school that we all went to. We all went to public schools. These schools are clearly set up to make you a slave. Not to make you think or to make you be smart, but to make you be smart and intelligent in their own way. So when you come out of school, your mind is already conditioned to think, okay, I gotta go get a job. I gotta do my 9 to 5. So they already program your mind to be a damn slave. Because at the end of the day, it's all about if you a slave or you in power. It's one of the two. Okay, all of this bullshit out here that they showing you on TV about how you could become anything you want. No, you could become anything you want if you in power. That's the difference. But if you're a little servant, you ain't going nowhere, man. You go somewhere if the Lord is on you. All right. But what I'm saying is Esau has everything structured the way he got it.
What about this?
Yeah, go on.
This is Nahum chapter 3 verse 4.
I want you to go back to. No, read on, brother.
Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts.
And that's what they do, man. That's what these people do. They perform sorcery and witchcraft. They get your celebrities out of the hoods or wherever they came from, some broken home somewhere, and they set these characters on TV and to promote foolishness, man. Okay, it's all purposely done, and then they train these characters on how to perform sorcery and witchcraft, so that ultimately the people that are watching these programs can be bewitched.
Right.
Okay, it's just that simple, man.
That's how America was forged off of the Masons, man. 1776. All right, they're all Masons, man. What's the guy's name?
Adam Weishaupt.
Adam Weishaupt. What's it? 30? Is it 36 degrees of masonry?
33 and 30.
You know, there's certain degrees of witchcraft, man. Okay, and it's all. That's how America was pretty much forged. Okay,
and that's just the thing. And if you look at the people that have went to the same schools you went to, the public school systems, they're bugged out their mind, man. They're the ones getting involved in the trends of the world. They're the ones focused on this music business and fashions and all of this nonsense, when that doesn't even pave the way for anything. You know, getting involved in fashion doesn't change your lifestyle. Doesn't change the fact that you're poor, you're under the curses. It don't change anything. Okay, but the real boys that's in these upper schools, they getting taught the real shit. They ain't getting taught about anything other than that. Okay, so everything's already been structured. Everything's been structured. Go on, bro.
And in England, and I'm not sure, I think it might be the same in America, it's, there's a law whereby you have to send your children to school.
Yeah, but why is that?
Exactly, there's an agenda, man.
Yeah.
You don't send your children to school, then you get arrested.
Right, exactly. And why are they mandating that you do so? Why they have to arrest you for that? Because it's so that they can simply brainwash your child.
Agenda. Yeah.
It's an agenda.
Can I say something as well? Because it's not just the academics that they want to teach you, like you said. That's right. But also now they're teaching all the other things that you're supposed to teach your children at home. So they want to take.
Yes.
Because we all have it we all know what's right, but they want to take that away from you teaching that to your child.
Yeah.
So now they want to teach your child.
They want to teach your child. So let's say, for example, right? Let's say you have a daughter. Yeah. This is how they're doing it right now. Let's say you have a daughter, and because we were children, right? We were all children, and we all had our own, ways about us. Some of us may have been shown the feminine traits than masculine traits. You have even females that show masculine traits, but they just growing into themselves. It don't mean that they're gay. But see what they're doing now in the schools. Let's say if your daughter has a masculine trait and it's clear, they're gonna force that child to then change his gender without the parents' consent. That's what they're doing right now. And at the same time, the boys are doing the same thing with them. If the boy's showing a glimpse of femininity, they're gonna say to the boy, look, you gotta wear dresses now. You gotta cut your thing off now. That's what they pushing nowadays. So it's all involving in you being destroyed, so that they can simply rule over you. That's the whole premise of the situation.
It's control.
Make you sick, make you docile, so that they can simply control your ass.
With a sprinkling of perversion as well, because it's perverse as well.
It's perversion.
It's all perverse.
Yeah. That's what Esau gets off on. Perversion, man. Like you said it, brother. Go on.
Just to touch on the point that the brother just said there about perversion, Esau wants to normalize perversion because
he's already done it.
Yeah, Jake deep down inside, they've got some sort of moral compass. They know that this is a bit off, man. That's why when you hang around with Edomites for a long time, you start to think, hang on a minute, these guys they're completely contrary. I just want to bring out a precept going on to teaching the children. That the children aren't being taught in the schools. This is what the children should be being taught, especially the girls. This is Titus 2:2. It says,
if you got a precept,
Salakia, Titus 2:3. It says, the aged women likewise, that they be in behaviour as becometh holiness, not false accusers, nor given to much wine, and teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient unto their own husbands, that the word of the Most High may not be blasphemed.
And think about it. How can women teach their daughters to be discreet and keepers of the house when the whole society is telling you to be a whore? Right. It's impossible, man. It's not possible. Now, if you live in a society that sets these things in order, puts these laws in order out there to the people, then it'll be much more easier for them to follow.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
Right.
The ways of the wicked
seduce them. And that's what's going on right now.
The priest.
It's like the good example is the Super Bowl, because you had you had what Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, one's in their 40s, and one's in their 50s, and they're gyrating on the stage with stripper poles and shit. And now some guys come out angry at that, but you got everyone's backing it like it's normal. Like
it's normal.
Your children should turn on a sports program and see that bullshit.
Yeah.
I just got a quick one.
Because them two women, I don't need to elaborate on that, bro. Right? I gotta elaborate on that. Them women are old as hell. They old enough to be somebody's grandma, man. Yeah. They up in the pole. They showing their eyes. They showing their vag and all of this other stuff, man. And these are old women. Jennifer Lopez and Angelique Lira.
Oh yeah,
they old, man.
J-Ho.
they just used up women.
Madonna.
Madonna, they old, man.
She's like 60 years old or some shit. man.
These women are like 40, 50, 60 years old, and they pole dancing and all of this other stuff, man. Because that's what they do, and they promote, and it really can't really blame them because they sold their soul, which we can blame them on that.
Yeah.
But they're just there to keep this whole culture going. That's all about that. That's what it's all about. So what I was saying before, Salakia brothers, I know you brothers got precepts. It's all about destroying your mind so they can control you, man. Go on, bro.
This is Genesis 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
And that's not literal. The tree is referring to somebody that's coming with a different doctrine. And the fruits is talking about the wisdom and understanding. Go on.
But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God had said, I've said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Lest ye die, because the only thing that the Lord wanted them to know is wisdom, understanding of goodness, righteousness. That's all he wanted them to know. But Eve, she was curious of the other way of the serpent. And just to back my point, brother, can you get the scripture where it talks about how, I believe it was Ezekiel, where he said he saw the people and they were likened unto trees?
Can I read this one?
Yeah, go on, bro.
Romans 1, I'll start at 25, it says, Who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever among.
Exactly, man. So who changed the truth into a lie? Esau did that. Esau is the one that's doing that. That's why he's the guy that needs to be taken out of the way. The accuser of our brethren. He needs to be taken out. And the reason why they got a problem with us, Esau in particular, is because we're quite contrary to their ways. We're not going along with the that they're pushing out there. We're telling them off. We're telling them, look, if you're doing this and whatever it is you're doing now, it's going to lead to your demise. It's going to lead to an end result, man. Go on,
and it says, worship the creature more than the creator, man. That's what's happening. That's why everyone's listening to what Esau's got to say. You know, people know the laws and the statutes. Not all of them, obviously, but they know the basics, man, because that's what the laws are comprised. That's what the law of the land is comprised of, these things. Man. So they know the truth. But they want to listen to what Esau's got to say, because when Esau's giving them that smooth talk, that's making them feel as though they can, do what that will.
Alistair Crowley.
Yeah. Can I add to what you just said? Yeah, because they've got a lot of in the music industry that men like big butch men like Tyler Perry. If you heard of he's a writer, producer, songwriter, producer.
I got something right there.
It's just probably from this, isn't it?
Yeah.
My scarf.
It's on your.
I deal with it.
It's on your right.
Yeah, I deal with it. So to wear dresses, and one of them come out. Brandon Jackson, he come out and said from the time he wore a dress, which he did wear a dress in
Big Mama
3 with Martin Lawrence, and most people see that, but that was all through Amalek because they want to break down.
Be careful because the Moabites, man, might catch that virus, man.
They want to break down his They want to break down his masculinity, and they want to show them as a public example to other men who look up to them as role models. So that's breaking down and he said Brandon